Hi, everyone. I am Raquel Vélez, and I am the founder and CEO of Alpine Parrot. And my story begins 8 years ago when I became so fed up when shopping for jeans. Stick with me. I hated it. It was such an awful, awful experience. And as an engineer, I solve problems. So I decided that the one thing that I needed to do at that moment was make my own jeans. Unfortunately, I didn't know how to sew yet. So I learned how to sew. And then I went a step further and learned how to make my own patterns. And over time, I discovered what happens when clothes actually fit. It's such an incredible game changer. And it's something that, honestly, I wish for absolutely everybody, clothes that fit. Now, around the same time, I learned how to ski, which is particularly notable because I was never really one of those outdoorsy folks before then. But the joy of flying down a mountain was so transformative for me that I have since expanded my outdoor resume. And now, in addition to skiing, I also climb, I hike, and I even camp, which is not something I would have said that I even did even 3 months ago. And yet, with everything, every time I started a new hobby, I had to use whatever I had, right? Like I learned to ski with rain pants and a raincoat with sweats underneath because that's what I had. But in order to really get to the next level, I knew I needed the right gear. Unfortunately, when I went out to go find gear for all of my great hobbies, I hit a roadblock. Nothing fit. As a size 16, I was having a lot of difficulty. And honestly, at this point, I was just so angry because now it wasn't just jeans getting in the way. Gear was actively getting in the way of my joy of the outside, and that is not okay. So I did some research and I learned a couple of very important facts. Number one, 68% of American women are a size 14 and up. And in fact, the average American woman is a size 16 or 18. Unfortunately, most brands only go to a size 14 if they even get to that size at all. Fact number two, by 2042, more than half the American population will be people of color. This is an important fact because there's a very strong correlation between people of size and people of color. Now, I know that the outdoor industry is actively attempting to diversify, but most advertisements still focus on the traditional standards of athleticism: white, predominantly male, slim, and able-bodied. And yet there are lots of us, and by us I mean people like me, people of color, people of size, who are already exploring nature. And there are so many more who are interested in getting involved in the outdoors. And we know that we need appropriate gear to get the most out of that experience. But where do we go to find it? This is why I started Alpine Parrot. Alpine Parrot's mission is to create outdoor clothing that encourages and celebrates underrepresented people in the outdoors, namely people of size and Black, Indigenous, and other people of color. And this is our inaugural product, the Ponderosa pants. At $129, these are a super technical hiking pant, but they were very carefully designed specifically for plus size bodies. And they have a lot of great features that I want to share with you. First of all, because there's such a diversity of shapes and sizes in the plus market, I knew it was important to make more than one fit style. So what I have are the mountain fit for people with a smaller waist and bigger hips, and the river fit for people with a similar waist and hip profile. In addition, because this market, we've got booties, we've got bellies, and we've got thighs, to appropriately celebrate the backside, we have a curved waistband, higher rise, and roomier thighs. In addition, the fabric is super important here. Not only does it have two-way stretch for moving with the body, it's also quick dry and breathable. And most important, it's abrasion resistant because honestly, in this market, thighs rub, and crotch blowout is not only incredibly common, it's also really expensive because you have to get rid of your pants every 6 months. With these, you don't have to, and you can really enjoy your life a lot more. And then last but certainly not least, pockets. There are 5 huge pockets. Every single one of them can hold a modern day cell phone because frankly, it's 2020 and I'm tired. Now, as part of all of this, I've decided to forego the traditional fit model. And instead, I'm going around the country and putting pants on as many bodies as possible. And in this process, I'm getting a lot of data about bodies and how things fit, but I'm also making incredible discoveries. For example, one fit tester who went on a hike in these pants, she came back and she told me, for the first time, I can enjoy my hike without having to worry about pinching and chafing. For the first time, I feel free. Y'all, Alpine Parrot isn't just making pants. We're creating opportunities for freedom, and that is so important. So where do we go from here? Alpine Parrot is admittedly just getting started. I'm currently self-funded, and I'm actively pursuing a crowdfunding event for the first half of 2021. That said, a lean business model is super important to me. I'm starting with limited runs in order to drive up brand awareness and get feedback. And while I'm beginning with Ponderosa pants in sizes 14 to 24, once it's proven itself in the market, I'm scaling this puppy up. These pants are going to go also to sizes 26 to 36. Then I'll be moving into shorts, woven tops, you name it, we can get there. Finally, why Title IX? 31 years ago, Title IX changed the industry with the premise that when women wear clothes made for their bodies, they feel more confident and are willing to take on new challenges. I know this to be true for myself as well. Alpine Parrot is taking that same ethos to the plus size market. The fact of the matter is, 2 out of every 3 American women cannot buy outdoor apparel in a traditional retail setting. I want them to buy Alpine Parrot clothing, and I want them to buy it at Title IX. Let's change the industry again. Together, Title IX and Alpine Parrot can bring confidence, joy, and freedom to all women. And with that, I welcome any questions the judges have. Thank you.
Right on time. Thank you, Raquel.
That's an awesome pitch. Nice work.
And, you know, I think juggling the balloon and stacking the cups actually helped with the nerves. So maybe we do that between every pitch.
Nice work. And,
thank you.
And the product is beautiful, even the protos here. Have you seen production come off of a line? Have you filled any purchase orders? Do you have orders? Okay, so you're literally in the proto stage.
Yes, I'm actively working with factories right now to get things started, but I'm also still working out all the fit testing. So, yeah.
What's the margin? So it's $129 pant, which is, you know, it's in there. It's a lot, but for a technical pant with a lot of pockets, that's reasonable. So tell me about what you think your margin's going to be. It's tough if you've only got protos, but where do you?
Yeah, well, so I've gotten some quotes so far, and it looks like we can manufacture for about 35 at a really small production run. So at 150 pieces, for example, I can get them for about 35 to 40. So I think we can do Keystone maybe, but I really think that once we scale, then things will get a lot easier. I'm also still looking for more production partners and all that good stuff. So yeah, it's, I've literally been doing this for 6 months. So it's just such an honor to be here at this point. I mean, the other finalists have been doing this for literally years, and here I am just like, I have an idea. You want to do it?
Good for you. That's awesome. That's awesome. Do you have other questions?
So clearly getting to scale is going to be so critical, and there's several ways to get there. You know, direct to consumer, landing a big whale like a Title IX, or again, going out to boutiques and seeing who you can connect with. Yeah. I mean, in a single sentence, do you have a thought about how you're going to get to the scale you need to get to be viable?
Absolutely. So at the moment, I'm really kind of focusing more on getting the brand name recognition, and I'm doing a bunch of fit tests right now. I'm doing road shows. Believe it or not, I can do fit testing. I have about 30 fit testers right now, and we're doing it safely, even in the midst of a pandemic. We'll be doing road shows, et cetera. And then once I've really kind of nailed the fit, because there's no book on how to do plus fitting. There just isn't. And so I'm working all that out. However, the amount of interest is so high that I feel very confident that we can not only make this get to a scale that's reasonable, both in the United States and also across the globe. In terms of how we get there, it's really just getting more brand name recognition, getting more folks excited about this brand, and trying them out. So that's kind of the big key right now.
Raquel, you are absolutely tapping into such an incredible need, and so many, especially with this whole idea of intersectional environmentalism and getting everyone out there. It's huge. Having spent a long time in the outdoor industry, I'm curious about how you see, you talk a little bit about the brand and making sure you get more brand awareness out there. Have you looked at influencers, finding the right people who will help spread your brand love? It's such a great story. And then second part of that question is, what does Alpine Parrot mean, and what brand connection is that? I'm missing that in your story, so would love to know that.
Absolutely. All right. So for influencers, absolutely. I've already connected with major influencers around the plus community. Jenny Brusso from Unlikely Hikers, Sam Ortiz from Fat Girls Climb, Summer from Fat Girls Hiking. Like, there's all of these people, they hear this, they hear my story, they hear what's going on, and they're just like, shut up and take my money. Can I have this 3 years ago? And I'm like, give me like 6 months. All right. Just give me 6 months. So that's absolutely the community. I already have 200 potential fit testers around the globe, and I only have 550 followers on Instagram. Like, it's blowing up. In terms of Alpine Parrot, there's one species of Alpine Parrot in the world. It's called the Kia, and it lives in the South Island or in the Southern Alps of New Zealand. And what's special about the Kia is that no one expects parrots to play in the snow, and yet these parrots do. And what's interesting about them is that they have this kind of olive green color to them, but when they fly, they have these incredible rainbow underwings. And to me, it's the perfect analogy for my customer, because our society has taught us that bigger people of color, don't go outside. And that could not be further from the truth, because when we are out there, our colors really shine. Thank you.
Good job, Raquel. I think that wraps up our questions for this round. Great work.
Thank you.